everyone. Today we're going to be talking about elapsed time. So elapsed time means just how much time has passed since something has happened. So when you think elapsed, think of the word lapse. A lapse in time kind of means there's space in between, so how much time has passed. So let's look at a few examples here. It's 2:30 p.m. So what time will it be in an hour and a half? So we've talked about how much time is in an hour. So an hour is 60 minutes. A half hour is 30 minutes because half of 60 is 30. Okay, so keeping that information in mind, the strategy that is best to go back to when you are looking at elapsed time, trying to figure out how much time has passed, is a timeline. So if I have a timeline, like so, and I want to figure out, well, where does 2:30 fall? It's 2:30 p.m. What time will it be in an hour? So we're starting at 2:30 and we're going to end at an hour and a half. So my start time, the beginning of my timeline, is 2:30, and then my end time here is going to be what time it will be after an hour and a half. So the nice thing about this question is I can split it into two sections on my timeline. First, I'm going to see how much time has passed after an hour. So 2:30 plus 1 hour would get me to 3:30. Okay, but then I have an hour and a half, so I have one more half hour left, which would be 30 minutes. So plus another 30 minutes. So I'm at 3:30 plus 30 more minutes would get me to 4 o'clock. So what time is it after an hour and a half past 2:30? It's 4 o'clock. Let's look at a few more examples. It took Alana 5 hours to finish the project. If she finished at 6:30 p.m., what time did she start? So in this case, with our timeline, we know the finish. We know where she finished was at 6:30. So this time our timeline is going to go backwards, and it's going to go backwards 5 hours. So I could do this in 1 hour jumps, right? So minus 1 hour would get me to 5:30. Another hour would get me to 4:30, and I could keep doing this in hour jumps, or I could do one big 3-hour jump now, right? Because 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 3 is 5, so that would get me to my end time. So she started at 4:30, 3:30, 2:30, 1:30. And I'll know that this is correct if I start at 1:30 and I count up 5 more hours, and if I land at exactly 6:30. So 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30. Some of these are going to be easier to do in your head than others. Okay, let's look at the next example. The movie starts in an hour and 10 minutes. Hour and 10 minutes. What time is it now if the movie starts at 8? Okay, so here's another case where we don't know what the start time is. This is our question, but we know the end time is going to be 8. So we can start at 8 and go backwards to figure out what time it is now. So if it starts in an hour and 10 minutes, then we can count backwards an hour. So minus 1 hour would get us to 7. And then minus 10 minutes. So if we're at 7 o'clock, right, then we could count back a whole hour and count forward 10 minutes, right? Because if we count back 1 hour, that would be 60 minutes. And that would be 6 o'clock. But we only subtracted 10 minutes. We only wanted to subtract 10 minutes. So we'll count forward. I'll do another color. We could count forward 50 minutes, because that would be like taking away that 10. So then it would be 650, right? 50 plus 10 equals that whole 60 minutes. So it would be 650. Another way that you could look at that was 7 o'clock and think in your mind back 10-minute increments, right? Because if we were at 6:50, we're only 10 minutes away from 7 o'clock. So 6:50 plus 10 more minutes was 7. So that's how we could double check. Okay, so this would be the minus 10, right? So you could do a roundabout way, or you could just count back 10 minutes like so. Either way, it would be 650 for this problem. Let's look at this last problem here. It's 4:05 p.m. What time will it be in 3 hours and 15 minutes? So we've got these minute increments here. So I have my start time, and in this case, I don't have an end time yet. So I'm going to start at 4:05. And I'm going to count up first 3 hours and then my 15 minutes, because I like doing it in small, easy to see bits. So first, I'm going to add 1 hour, and that would get me to 5:05. Plus another hour would get me to 6:05. Plus that third hour would get me to 7:05. I made too big of a jump there, but they're all plus an hour, so a total of 3 hours. So now I've just got 15 minutes I want to add. So my 5 minutes plus 15 would get me to 7 hours and 20 minutes, right? Because 15 plus 5 more would be 20. So what time will it be in 3 hours and 15 minutes? 7:20. I hope this timeline strategy helped you out. Just remember that you're looking for what you know. Do you know the start or do you know the finish? And then break it into smaller, easier bits for you before you try and do it all at once in your head. All right. Hope this helped, and let me know if you have any questions.